Coming all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina. Y'all give it up for James R. Hustle. And welcome to my comedy special, James R. Hustle, live from the Luchadome. I appreciate everybody that came out. It was hard fitting all 12 of y'all in this building, but I appreciate the effort. Like I said, everybody laughed 3 times at every joke. It might sound like this place is full. For those of you who don't know me, my name is James R. Hustle. I am a retired drug dealer, semi-retired. Like I used to sell all the drugs, now I just sell like 2 of them.
How much were they?
We'll talk later. You know, and I'm also, a lot of people didn't know this, I'm also the proud member of the trans community. Yeah, y'all ain't see that shit coming, did you? The beard gave it away, didn't it? Yeah, I'm transracial. I'm really a black man trapped in a white man's body. You just have to accept that or we're gonna cancel the shit out your ass. I am also a single father. I got full custody of my 13-year-old daughter, so that's a pretty opposite lifestyle of being a drug dealer. So you guys all be on the lookout for my book I have coming out, From Duffel Bags to Diaper Bags. It'll be on Amazon when this crackhead finished writing it for me. I gave bro $20, 2 pages of notes. He said, you got a bestseller coming. I was like, I really appreciate that, Junebug. Well, y'all know Junebug too, huh? He is everywhere. I don't know how he do it. He's in every city across America somehow. You know, but the name is James R. Hustle for a reason. I do a lot of things other than comedy. Obviously, I got in the wrestling business about a year ago as a manager, and now I'm having a midlife crisis and I own my own promotion, and it is not going well so far. I'm losing the shit out of some money, but we have a lot of fun in this damn building, I'll tell you that much. We have fun in here. Because ain't nobody else out there combining wrestling and stand-up comedy. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna try it and fail. But at least I tried. You know, but like I said, comedy and wrestling have a lot of similarities. They have a lot of differences, but they're very similar. Comedy fans at least wear deodorant. I'm glad most of you guys are tonight. Most. Now, but I be perplexed when I be at wrestling shows and I be in the back in the locker room and people be musty before their match. Like, you ain't even wrestled yet, bro. Like, what the hell? It's crazy. But like I said, I do a lot of things. Comedy, wrestling. I'm also in the restaurant industry. I used to be the general manager of a Dominican restaurant. Yeah, and I don't speak Spanish. I lied like hell on that application. But I remember the interview like it was yesterday. They're looking at the interview and said, Mr. Hustle, this is a very impressive resume you have here that I lied on. But it says here, you have a felony? I said, look at me, of course I have a felony. It says here, you robbed the restaurant you were the manager of. I said, allegedly. You promise you won't do it again. And that's how I became the general manager of a Dominican restaurant, and I didn't speak Spanish. But I remember the whole first 3 months of working there, I thought my Spanish name was Jirafa Blanco. That's what they were calling me. I was proud of my Spanish name. I'm introducing myself, mi amo es Jirafa Blanco. I thought I was smooth as shit. Until I found out that just means the white giraffe. They was in there fucking with me the whole time. You know, but being the general manager is crazy because you got to deal with customers and the employees. And that's not for the weak at heart. Like the other day, a customer, she ordered some chicken nachos with light gluten. Yes, she was. I said, ma'am, gluten, that's not seasoning. She said, I got Similac disease. I said, ma'am, that's baby formula. I think you're talking about celiac disease. Yeah. Which you probably got it, don't you? You got celiac disease? No. Okay, yeah, because that shit fake anyway too. You know how I know? You know how I know it's fake? Because every time somebody come in my restaurant and order something gluten-free, I upcharge them $10 and then I sprinkle extra gluten on top of that shit. Yeah. And nobody has died yet, so somebody's lying. You know, but like I said, I do a lot of things: comedy, wrestling, restaurant industry. Oh yeah, but dealing with the employees is just as bad as the customers. Like the other day, my line cook called out of work. He said, my son has a fever of 137. Now I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. I said, 137? He said, yeah, we're taking him right now to get checked out. I said, bro, he dead. But I'm still gonna need to see a doctor's note. You know, sometime at work I get bored, so I do little things to make myself laugh. Like I'll write people up for smelling like weed, but it's really me the whole time. Like I'm not gonna warn you guys about this again. It smells good, where you get that from? Like I said, I do a lot of things: comedy, wrestling, restaurant industry. I even used to sell illegal baby turtles up until about a year ago when I got into the wrestling business, for real. For some reason, it's illegal to sell turtles in North Carolina. It's a real law, you can Google it. But I know a guy in Florida who got a turtle farm, and he would mail me whatever turtles I need on FedEx overnight, and I would sell them on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, I almost made $10,000 that pandemic year off turtles. No bullshit. But I did get arrested for it one time. Now imagine you sitting in the county jail. Imagine you sitting in the county jail and that one big scary guy, because you know there's one in every county jail. And I seen him walk up to the first guy and say, why you in jail? And the first guy said he embezzled $100,000 from the bank. And the big scary guy took his lunch tray. Then I seen the big scary guy walk up to another guy. He said, why you in jail? And that guy said he killed somebody. He took his lunch tray too. Then he walked up to me. I seen him coming. I said, oh shit. He gets up to me and said, why you in jail, white boy? I said, bro, I had these turtles. And they were vicious. He did not take my lunch tray. Because you know why? Because I've grown my hair out, but usually I'm bald and I got head tattoos. So they say he got head tattoos and baby turtles. We don't know what he's capable of. True story. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff: wrestling, comedy, restaurants, baby turtles. I'm even an ordained reverend.
Come on now.
Yeah, y'all ain't see that shit coming, did you? Amen, hallelujah, yeah. I got a card in my wallet right now that say Reverend James R. Hustle. That's not even my real last name. They still gave me that shit. For real, I do weddings, divorces. I'm even allowed to knight people, but I got a felony, so I'm not allowed to have a sword. Like I said, I do handle divorces. I'm not a lawyer. I just sleep with a lot of married women. So it just kind of comes with the territory. You know, but it's crazy. I had a rough life growing up. You know, I grew up in the hood. You know, I had roaches and rats and everything. Anybody in here ever got offended by a roach? I wanted to fight a roach one time. I remember I was probably like 12. I was standing in front of the microwave. I had some food in the microwave and it was heating up. And this roach crawled across the top of my microwave. And he looked over the top of the microwave into the microwave to see what I had cooking. And then he turned around and walked the fuck off. And it pissed me off. I was like, my food ain't good enough for a fucking roach? I called Terminex that day. Paid them double. Is there somebody out there? Nah. But back when I used to sell drugs, a lot of crazy stuff used to happen too. Like I remember one time my car broke down and I seen my most faithful crackhead, Junebug, y'all know him. He said, look, I'll give you a ride for $5. I said, that's a hell of a deal, but I don't see a car anywhere in the vicinity right now. This man said, hop on, bro, I got you. I made it there in record time. It was like I was riding an ostrich through traffic. Uber crack coming to a hood near y'all. I remember another time, I remember this crackhead brought me a Crown Royal bag, you know those little purple bags? And it was filled with the gold coins, the gold dollars. And he tried to trade it to me for some crack. And I was like, what I look like, Super Mario? What the fuck I'm gonna do with all these gold coins? But this grown-ass man looked me directly in the eye and said, pretend to be a pirate. I said, shit, that do sound fun. I went around the entire day like, "Arr, shiver me timbers, matey. 2 of ye finest double cheeseburgers, no ketchup." I went back home that night to my girl. I was still in character. I kicked in the door. I said, "Walk the plank, scallywag. Time to plunder ye booty." I threw some gold coins at her. She did not appreciate that shit. Fellas, I do not recommend you trying that with your wife. But I remember another time I lost my drug dealer's money. I lost $10,000. And he said, "You got a month to make it back or I'm gonna kill you." I was like, "We can't let that happen." And he said, "No, you can't let that happen." So long story short, I had to start stripping for a little bit. Yeah, but I wasn't making the money back fast enough. So luckily for me, I ran into these older ladies at a retirement party, and they offered to pay me to have sex with them. Yeah, and I didn't want to do it, but I didn't want to die. And luckily for me, I grew up without cable, so I watched a lot of Golden Girls. So I said, "Look, turn y'all life alerts off. I got weed on me." And fellas, you think these young girls is freaks when you to choke them during sex? Miss Edna wanted me to break her hip. I'm getting there. She said, "This thing titanium, it's been replaced twice." But right before we was about to do it, I said, "Hold on, let me go grab a condom real quick." And she's like, "We're too old to have kids." I was like, "Ma'am, I'm not trying to catch osteoporosis. You know, I'm pretty athletic. I don't need weak bones, you know." It do remind me, I did get hurt fucking a couple months ago. I threw my whole ACL out. Like, if I would have been a professional athlete, I would have missed the whole season just from fucking. God. Yeah, so now before I have sex, I got to stretch like I'm at the YMCA about to play basketball. I be in there like, "Hold on, girl. Let me get this hamstring warmed up." I done got my damn leg stuck up here. Oh, no. Hold on, I'm getting this whole dick tonight. I just pulled my shit for real. Y'all heard that pop? Larry, you got some icy hot, don't you? Nah, but comedy, you know, I've been doing comedy for 9 years. I've only been wrestling for a year. But, you know, comedy was starting to take me places I've never been before. Like, I remember the first time I did a show in Atlanta. That was crazy. I remember because I came out on my show and I seen a gay dude and a redneck about to have a fight. And I said, "This is going to be very entertaining." And I was not wrong. That redneck, that gay dude whooped that redneck ass with an Android phone charger. Like, he knew what he was classically trained in Gay Kwon-Do. Like he knew what he was doing. Like, you know the part that plugged into the wall? He was hitting him like it was a snake. He was like, tss, 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 tss. He knocked the Mountain Dew out that redneck. But I remember the first time I got flew to New York to do comedy. Now, I'm from the hood. I ain't never flown before. I didn't know how to act in the airport. So, you know, I'm in security and I'm high as usual. And I forgot I had a lighter in my pocket. Yeah, I had a lighter in my pocket, yeah. So, you know, I'm in security and I see the people up there that be checking stuff and I'm panicking a little bit. I've seen this on TV. They're gonna try to look inside my booty hole. And the guy already had the purple gloves on, so I said, he done looked in some booty holes today. He ain't even changed his gloves. It's not sanitary. So I flagged it down before I got there. I said, "Look, man, honest mistake. I forgot I had this lighter. Can I just give it to you and we call it even?" He's like, "No, it's cool. You're allowed to take lighters on the plane." I said, you bullshitting. It's like, nah, it's cool. You can take a lighter on the plane. So I get to security. They see the lighter, no problem. My booty hole safe. But then they took my body wash out the bag and they threw it in the trash. And I'm like, hold on, wait 1 minute. I was like, I can't wash my ass when I get to my destination, but I could set this whole plane on fire right now if I chose to. And then they looked at my booty hole because I mentioned setting a plane on fire. I even did a show in the town. Y'all remember that movie Dirty Dancing? Yeah, I did a show in the town that movie was filmed in. It's called like Lake Lure or something like that. It was like 12 people in the whole town. But it reminded me when I was in 2nd grade, me and my friend, we found the VHS of Dirty Dancing. And because of the name, we, as 8-year-olds, thought it was a porn. Dirty Dancing, you know? We watched that whole movie, didn't see one titty. We were mad as fuck. I was mad as hell. I watched that whole movie, didn't see not one titty. I was like, you don't put baby in the corner, but this is some bullshit. Crazy. But yeah, comedy is, like I said, it's taking me a lot of places. It's taking me everywhere. You know, now wrestling is starting to do the same thing. But being a single parent, that's a whole nother story in itself. Like I said, I got tattoos on my head, and usually I'm bald. So when I go to PTA meetings, they shut the fuck up. I've been there like, why are we the only PTA meeting with a security guard in the front row? It's a little discriminatory. I brought cupcakes and snacks like all these other parents. I even got little Timmy that gluten-free shit. Fucking man's little fake ass allergy. You know, but I remember one of my proudest days of being a father was the day my daughter started Girl Scouts. You know, that was a pretty cool day right now, because, you know, I used to sell drugs, so it was kind of similar, you know. You know, and she did well. You know, they gave her this catalog with all these toys and prizes she could win, and she could get all this cool stuff, and she was excited. She's circling stuff and highlighting things, and she did really well. She sold 500 boxes of cookies for $5 each. If my math is correct, that's $2,500. They gave her a keychain for that shit. $2,500, and they gave her a keychain. So I said, look, baby, why sell those cookies by the box when you can bust that box down and sell those cookies individually like a kilo? Yeah, she turned into Cookie Montana out this motherfucker. You know, she took to it. You know, I went to school to have lunch with her one day, and I came around the corner, and by this point, she had turned her whole class into snack heads. Yeah, snack heads. You know, they trying to trade toys and pencils and erasers. Like, come on, baby, let me get to it on some more. You know I'm good for it. My daughter slapped the shit out of that little boy. You know, she even had the little hall monitors paid off like the police. You know, the little orange shirts, like, you good, go ahead, we know who you are. You know, so now that we busted the box down like a kilo, that's $50 a box times 500. You know, so now we've made $25,000. And I just bought a brand new Nissan Altima, and she got a brand new Nissan Altima keychain. But before I get up out of here, I'm gonna tell y'all, I forgot, don't put us on social media because I called out of work sick to be here tonight. But I'm gonna teach y'all my technique. It'll get you a day and a half off of work and make you look like a strong, dedicated worker. Yeah, it's called the lower and slower technique. But you gotta be committed. We'll say you need Friday off work. All you do Monday, you come into work like it's a normal day Monday, you make eye contact with your boss and go, that's it, go on about your business for the rest of the day. That's all Monday, that's all. So now Tuesday, when you get up, you're gonna stop by the gas station, you're gonna buy a ginger ale. Because regular people don't drink ginger ale for no reason. This is subliminal messaging. So you're gonna go into work, you're gonna make eye contact with your boss again, you're gonna go, and then drink the ginger ale. That's all Tuesday. Your job done Tuesday. Go on about your day like it's a regular day. Now Wednesday, you got two things you got to do Wednesday. First, you got to come in and hit them with the fast bathroom walk. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They don't want to know what's wrong. They're not going to ask you, but they see it. Subliminal messaging. Now also Wednesday, your cough has now developed into an alternator problem from an 87 Cutlass. You in there now like this. Somebody talking about, give us some gas. I'm like, that's me. That's it, Wednesday, you done. Now Thursday is the moment of truth. Now Thursday, you're gonna come in all the way lower and slower. You like this now Thursday. Now they're gonna ask you one time. I'm like, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Y'all ain't hot. And then wait a couple more minutes. And they're gonna ask you again. I'm like, you good? No. But y'all need my help. I'ma stay. He was like, we can tell you don't feel good. I said, no, I'm good. I got my slip-resistant shoes on. Just prop me up against the fryer. I'll be all right. He was like, we can really tell you don't feel good, man. Take the rest of the day and tomorrow off. I said, you for real? And usually I get up real fast, but I pulled my hamstring on the other joke earlier, so I'm gonna get up slow. But I appreciate y'all coming out. You know, the wrestling and comedy is going well. You know, a lot of people have been asking me why I ain't been booking the little people. You know, because they're real popular in wrestling right now. They're everywhere. They got the reality show and everything. But they charge like $500 a person. The little person's is $5. I get a regular wrestler for $40. That's a big difference. That one little person costs the whole show. But do remember that one time I was at the gas station. This wasn't even what I set out to do that day. It just happened that way. I'm at the gas station. And I'm buying some marijuana paraphernalia from the gas station. And I felt something tug the back of my shirt, like this. And I turned around and I looked, and I ain't seen nothing. And I looked down, there was a little person stripper. It was a little lady stripper. And she's like, what you doing? I'm like, about to smoke some weed. So she said, come back to my hotel and smoke with me. Now look, when I was little, Willy Wonka scared the shit out of me, okay? Willy Wonka and the Wizard of Oz, they scared the shit out of me, I'm sorry, when I was little. So I was a little reluctant, but I went back to the hotel with the little stripper lady. And we ended up doing it. And it was crazy. I hit her from the back in the air. Her little legs was just swinging. And then she was like, you gotta come back to Atlanta with me. I got a friend like me and we can have a threesome. I was like, ma'am, that math doesn't add up. That is 1 + 2 halves. That is regular sex. I need 4 of y'all for a threesome. At least 4 of y'all. But I'm about to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody coming out. Hey, we about to have a hell of a show. Hey, we about to have a hell of a show. We got some wrestling. We got some more. Hey, what the fuck y'all doing? Oh, hold on. Hey, y'all break it up. Hey, motherfucker. Hey, break it up. Hey. Get your ass over here. Y'all dances in a little bit. Chill out, motherfuckers, or y'all ain't getting paid. Ain't nobody gonna get. Now y'all go to the girls' locker room. Don't fuck with them back there. Goddamn motherfucker. They mad for later. Oh, that wasn't part of the show. That was later.